Hey, what's up? I'm Ashley. Thank you for watching this video. And today, we're going to be talking about Yellowjackets, Season 2, Episode 9, Season Finale, and let's get started. So when it first comes on, Travis is happy to see Natalie, but he notices that Natalie isn't happy to see him. She tells him that it happened so fast and that the wilderness shows. So when Travis looked up and saw his brother hanging from a stick looking like a turkey, he was hurt for sure. But he wasn't doing enough for me. If that was my brother, I would have been yelling, hollering, and screaming, rolling around in the snow saying, "No, not my brother." But you can tell Natalie is feeling guilty about this because she didn't help Javi and it should have been her. And her telling him that it happened so fast is a truth and a lie. Because yeah, it did happen fast, but you're leaving the important details out. Javi could have been saved, which makes me believe that Travis doesn't know the truth on how everything really went down. So he's believing that it was really an accident. Then we get to Lottie and Misty, and Lottie was asking Misty why was Travis yelling. Misty tells her all nonchalant, "It's because we're going to eat Javi. The wilderness chose. I told them about you not wanting your body to be wasted, so we played a card game. Natalie picked the queen card, but then during the chase, Javi died. We didn't even have to kill him. But you all did because you just stood there. It's psychotic." Lottie tells her, "This isn't what I wanted. How could you let them do this?" Misty said, "How could I? You started this. It's done. This is going to save all of our lives, and you better not start making people feel guilty about it now." Misty was looking like her psychotic self. I'm surprised that Lottie didn't get another beat down. So after that conversation, Misty goes into the other room and lies to everyone, telling them that Lottie is pleased with the wilderness choice and says that this is going to save all of us, and then looks at Shauna and basically says, "Get up, get out there, and start cutting Javi up." And you already know Shauna is eager to cut up somebody's body. So she hurried up, grabbed her knife, and went outside where Javi and Travis was at, and where Travis was still grieving the loss of his brother. But she didn't care. She's like, "Hurry up and get away from him. I'm trying to chop him up." And the fact that Travis got up right away when they came outside says a lot. But it couldn't have been me because I'm going to say my goodbye. But Travis was like, "I'm probably going to get stabbed. Let me go ahead and get up." But he could also be in shock. After that, we see them preparing Javi's body, and Natalie was the only one with the respect to cover up Javi's dangling. I wonder what Shauna did with it after everyone walked away. Did she save it for herself, or did she throw it in the throwaway pile? Shauna is a psycho, and never forget what she did on her daughter's bed in season 1. But Shauna wants to act like this is hard for her, and she covers up her eyes. But this just says a lot to me. She don't even got to look at you to cut you up. She knows just what she's doing. She's a professional. She don't even got to look. Just look at Javi. Just look at him. Are they saving that for some bone stew? Just look at that. What is that? The spinal cord? R.I.P. Javi. What a way to go out. But as Shauna is doing what she does best, Coach walks up and he's seeing everything. But Natalie is walking right behind him. So he turns around and he asks Natalie what happened. Then he's all like, "Oh, never mind. Look, I found out where Javi's been hiding. We can go there. We can live there together because you're not like the rest of these girls." Natalie tells him that she's worse than they are. She let Javi die in her place and that it should have been her. Then you see this one single tear drop down from Coach Ben's face. He's hurt at this point. He's like, "No, not Natalie. Oh, no." Him and Natalie builded this connection. They had this bond. So he's probably thinking, there's no more good people left in the world. Where's the humanity? We just didn't know that at that very moment, just how triggered he was. But oh, we sure did find out soon. Van is dangerous. She's one of those silent but deadly people. You gotta watch out for her. The fact that she's over here making Travis feel bad because he's grieving the loss of his brother is blowing my mind. I'm like, how could I have missed just how crazy Van has been this whole time? Travis told her, "You should be ashamed." Van says, "Well, I'm not. I'm happy I'm alive, just like you are. I don't think anyone out here should be ashamed. Let your brother save you. That's the least you can do for him. For what he's gone through out here." She is sounding like Lottie. At least Misty and Shauna has let everyone know just how crazy they are. But with Van, you gotta watch your back. But we'll talk more about Van when we get to present day. So Shauna walks inside of the cabin with a platter full of Javi. She hands Travis the heart, and Travis took a bite out of it raw, like it was an apple or something. But then started looking like a vampire, had blood dripping all down his face. But then after that is when he decided to throw it in the skillet and let it fry up. You didn't think it was a good idea to let it fry up first? You wanted to eat it raw? Was he missing candy and was pretending like it was a fruit gusher? Look at Misty's face. She's drooling. She couldn't wait to get hers. But after Travis took that first bite, that gave everyone else the okay to get up and throw their pieces of Javi in the skillet too. Misty brought Lottie her bowl of Javi and told her to eat up. You need your strength. Your team needs you. Lottie didn't want no problems, so she did what Misty said. But Lottie did tell her she thought it wanted what was best for them, but now she's not so sure. Talking about the wilderness, the darkness, or whatever voice that be inside of her head. But when Lottie comes out of her room, everyone is excited to see her. They sit around the fire. Javi is still being cooked. So I'm like, dang, y'all not full yet? Save some for later. They're looking up at Lottie saying, tell us a story. Van says, how about one you've never heard before? And she starts telling them a story about the wilderness. Lottie interrupts and says, I never wanted to be in charge. I think it chose me because I knew how to listen. But I can't hear it anymore, and I think it's because it doesn't need me anymore. She told them that they learned how to hear it and feel it, and that they need a leader who's going to help them get through the rest of the time that they're out there, but it isn't her. They're like, no, Lottie, what are you talking about? So Lottie's like, the wilderness already shows how we ate, and it already chose who's going to lead us. Misty had me laughing because she stood up. Girl, you really thought it was going to be you. But Lottie says that it should be Natalie, so that's when everyone gets up and shows their respect to Natalie and accepts her as their new leader because Lottie said so. You could tell Shauna was salty about this. For some reason, she thought she should be the leader. But while all this is going down, Coach Ben is outside looking through the window, and he is clearly angry. He's probably thinking, they disgust me. But also, while he's outside, he has some matches and some rope, and I'm like, what are you doing with this? At first, all I'm thinking is he's taking it back to his cage tree because we saw him earlier trying to light a fire, but it didn't work. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's stealing the supplies and taking it back to the tree cave. But no, everyone but Shauna was asleep. She was up writing in her journal, complaining that she wasn't the new leader. She just cannot understand why it wasn't her. So as she's writing, she's thinking, what's that smell? So she gets up to go see, and she notices that it's a fire. Lord Jesus, it's a fire. So she grabs her little journals, she packs them up, she runs downstairs, and she tells everyone, it's a fire, get up, it's a fire. Ben is telling everyone to grab whatever they can. And at first, they wasn't able to open the door, but thank God for Taissa. She was the one who was able to get the door open and how everyone was able to get out. I know they're all thinking, what are we going to do now? But it won't take long to figure out this was all Coach Ben. When they finally get a hold of him, that'll do it. That'll be his last day. He's probably thinking, first Jackie, now Javi. Who's next? Probably me. And the fact that Natalie told him that she's worse than them really sent him over the edge. So he's like, I'm gonna burn the whole house down, thinking the world is better without them. But this has really sealed his faith. Once they get a hold of him, maybe they'll end up taking shelter inside of the plane or the meat shed. But this right here had my jaw on the floor. They probably will end up finding the tree cave because Natalie does know about it. She just doesn't know exactly where it's at, but she does know it's not far from where Javi died. So it won't be too hard to put two and two together. They're going to be like, oh, our leader, look at her. She knows how to lead. They're so gullible. But let me know your thoughts on what happened in the wilderness, because now we're going to move on to present day. So we're back at the sharing shack. Lottie is saying, it chooses and it won't stop until it gets what it wants. And she's about to throw one back. They're like, no, wait, no. She was about to drink the poison until Shauna said, we have to do it the way we used to. Let's have a hunt. Everyone except for Lottie is like, what are you talking about? That's stupid. What's wrong with you? Well, we know something's wrong with Shauna. But she was just trying to trick Lottie and have her think that everyone was going to go along with her stupid idea. Eventually, everyone else caught on and started playing along too. Shauna tells Lottie that she has to make sure that none of her people are here when they do this. And Lottie's like, okay, I'll get right to it. We're going to do this tonight. And she walks out. And when she does, Misty says, considering her medical history, it probably won't be that hard to get her committed again. I mean, I am a medical professional. It's easy for me to make that call. First of all, that's scary. Misty, a medical professional, and is able to easily get you locked up in a mental facility. It's a horror movie. But Natalie is saying they have to do more than that because she was trying to have them play Russian roulette with poison. We just can't lock her up in a mental facility and call it a day. Then there goes Van saying, I agree, because it's more than her mental illness. She went through a lot out there. We all did. So we all know what she's been through. Natalie's like, yeah, but we got over it. No, girl. I was with you until you said that. But y'all are not over it. Even Taissa agrees. But while Lottie is off trying to make sure all her cult members are asleep or just out of there, everyone else is getting ready for this hunt. First, Misty broke inside of Lottie's cabinet, and that's where she found her phone, but discovered that no one tried to get in touch with her. I know she can't be surprised, but maybe she was expecting Walter to have texted her or called her or something. But that don't even matter because there he go right there. So she started hiding because she heard someone come inside the room, but her phone started ringing and it was Walter, and he hears it and he's like, Misty, you in here? Yeah, there she go. He told her that he's here to help. And I said, you better be. We see Van and Taissa. They're making masks for the hunt that night. And Van somehow convinces Taissa that Lottie does not need to be locked up in a mental facility. She tells her, if she's crazy, you're crazy too. And what's even more twisted is she had Taissa call the hospital and tell them that they don't need to come and that they'll bring her themselves. If she wanted that done, then she should have called herself instead of just sitting there watching her like, yeah, my plan is working. It's coming to life. But we saw Natalie getting rid of all the queen cards except for the queen of hearts. And then we see Shauna with what she's most comfortable with, a knife. Looks like she's trying to unsharpen them for the hunt that night. We see her test it out on her finger when no blood comes out. Natalie goes to tell Lisa herself to leave and get out of there. But Lisa's like, why? And Natalie's like, just leave, girl, leave. But before Natalie walks out the door, she tells Lisa that she appreciates her trying to teach her forgiveness. It's a nice idea. And when she said that, I knew something was about to go down. Then we see Callie and Jeff in the car, and Jeff is telling Callie that it's not that easy to just up and leave the country. Then he tells Callie that he saw Shauna almost shoot a guy the other day, and Callie's like, Mom has a gun? And Jeff's like, nah, she just took it off this carjacker. And when Jeff wouldn't let Callie open up the glove compartment, she already knew that's where the gun was. So they drive up to the cult, and they back up real quick when they see the cult members coming to the gate. I guess Jeff got scared or something, and as they're driving off, we see Jay and Kevin pull up to the gate too. They're thinking that maybe Callie and Jeff saw them, but nah, ain't nobody seen you. But my question is, has Jeff and Shauna always have two cars? So anyway, we see Walter in the kitchen cooking up something lethal that we didn't know was lethal yet. And still at this time, I wasn't sure if he was really helping Misty or not. But once I saw this smirk, I was like, okay, yeah, he's on Misty's side. And he better be. So when Kevin walks in, Walter acts scared. And he's like, what are you doing in here? I'm calling the police. Kevin shows him his badge and says, I am the police. Walter sees that it says detective, and he's like, you're a real life detective? Have you ever heard of the Citizen Detective program? I'm in that. Trying to play it off and not seem like a threat, when really he knows 1,000 ways to kill you. So he asked Kevin if he wanted some hot cocoa, and Kevin's like, yeah, sure. Really? Your mama never taught you to not take anything from strangers? You don't know that man? So Kevin's over here gobbling it up. But Walter's acting like he's a member of the cult. Kevin is telling him that he's there for Shauna. And Walter's like, yeah, Shauna. She just got here a few days ago. And as they're talking, Jeff and Callie sees them. Jeff tells Callie to go away. Let me handle this. And after some back and forth, because you know she's stubborn, she finally walks away. And that's when Jeff goes inside, and you can hear them talking about Jessica Roberts. Walter lets them talk in private. Then when he leaves, Jeff immediately puts his hands in the air and says, I did it. I killed Adam Martin. It was all me. And as he's making this fake confession, Kevin falls out. And Jeff is like, Kevin? Oh no, Kevin! He's thinking he's going to get in trouble for this. But when Walter comes out and introduces himself and says that he's a friend of Misty, Jeff is, of course, still confused, but Walter's like, you want to help me move this body? And Jeff gets up and helps him move the body. Now, what made Jeff want to be down with this? I don't know. He's crazy. He's funny, but he's crazy. I can see why he married Shauna. While all that is going down, Callie comes across Syracuse, and she has the gun that her mom stole behind her back, and it looks like she's ready to use it. Syracuse tells her, I'm going to have to ask you to keep your hands where I can see them, but Callie still has it behind her back. Then Syracuse's phone rings and it's supposed to be Kevin on the other end, but it's really Walter with the broken up recording of Kevin's voice. That got Syracuse worried, so he leaves Callie alone to go find Kevin. Walter and Jeff had already put Kevin inside of their car, so by the time Syracuse showed up and opened the trunk because he heard Kevin's phone, only a few seconds after that is when Walter ran up, fired 3 off on Kevin's body, and looked happy about it with Syracuse's gun. Syracuse says, "Who are you?" Walter's like, "I'm the guy that's going to give you a choice." He goes on to say, how impressed would the police department be to find out that their new recruit almost lost his life uncovering his partner's involvement in a police corruption scandal. And when the police look into this, they'll see that he wasn't only connected to Adam Martin's death, but Jessica Roberts too. Now, you could go along with this or you don't have to, but then all those phone and bank records will come back to you. So Jay has no other choice than to go along with this, and I was wondering how Shauna was going to get out of this. I would be surprised if the show didn't leave it like this. I'm tired of Shauna's storyline. They need to just leave it alone and let it be. Next season, let's find someone else for Shauna to kill, so then we'll be able to see Shauna out there being a menace to society with somebody else. So the game is about to start, and Lottie looks crazy and thrilled at the same time. Just look at the way she walked up. Look at her. No one wants to play except Lottie and secretly Van. Everyone else is trying to stall. Shauna said, "I would like to shuffle those cards some more." So as she's shuffling, Van says, "I think that's enough." They all look at her. Taissa looking at her like, "What are you doing?" Van said she'll start it off, and that's how everything started. Everyone ends up pulling ones, and no one pulled the Queen of Hearts. So Lottie says, "Again! Again!" So they all do it again, and that's when Shauna pulls the Queen card. Shauna isn't thinking anything's going to go down. She knows that everybody was just playing along with Lottie. But what she didn't know is that Van was down for this and that she had Taissa call the psych people off. But what was scary was how they all put on those masks. That's when Shauna said, "No, no, no, no." She put her finger up. She knows how to put that finger up. Shauna started walking away. So Lottie said, "Are you running? Is that what you choose to do?" Shauna said, "F off." So she started walking away. Then she started walking faster because they started to chase her. And then Callie pops up and she shoots Lottie in the arm. And what got me was that Lottie didn't say, "Ow, I'm shot." She didn't fall to the ground or nothing. She just takes off her mask and says, "You're Shauna's daughter?" That's what you have to say? That's how you act when you get shot? That's how you know she's crazy. She didn't have a reaction to getting shot. But Callie's like, "Get away from my mom. Leave my mom alone." And this is when Shauna asked, "Where are the psych people at, Misty?" And that's how everyone found out that Van didn't want to go through with this and she had Taissa call them off. Lottie kept going on about the wilderness. Natalie was tired of it, so she gestured as if she was going to stab her. That's when Lisa walks up and she says, "Stop, you're gonna hurt her," and was holding Natalie up with her own rifle. So to try to stop Lisa, Misty brought out her syringe and she went to try to stab Lisa with it, but Natalie got in the way on purpose to save Lisa. And how does Lisa repay her? By running away. That's right, keep running out of the whole series. We do not want to see you in season 3. We didn't even need you in season 2. Now, Natalie, why you wanted to do that for? Now look at you. You're dead. On the plane, seeing Javi, seeing your teenage self, seeing teenage Lottie. Where is Travis? It makes me wonder if he's really dead. But while she's on the plane going over to the afterlife, she's saying, "I'm not supposed to be here." Her teenage self pops up and says, "We both know that's not true. We've belonged here for years." And that brings me back to when they were in the wilderness, when she was supposed to die, but Javi did instead. But I even said in my last video that if any one of them was going to die, it was going to be Natalie because of all the parallels between her, Travis, and Javi. I didn't want to be right, but I was right. And if you think about this, they were hinting towards this all along. And if you think about it some more, where would they have taken Natalie's character arc? Like, what more could Natalie's character do? It was all about Travis. Her character revolved around Travis, and once she found out that Travis died, even though I don't believe the story, Lottie, I feel like it's more to it, but they gave Natalie her conclusion on that. And yeah, her character was about mental illness and drug addiction, all that. but mainly revolved around Travis. And even Juliette Lewis herself, who plays adult Natalie, said that she didn't like the fact that her character revolved around a boy. Maybe she was tired of that storyline and no one knew what direction they wanted to take Natalie in, so she was like, get me out. And even if you look back in interviews from season 1, she did look unhappy sometimes, but I could be wrong. But for a fact, she did say she didn't like that her character revolved around a boy. But R.I.P. Natalie. So now even more police is there. The ambulance is there. We see Jeff go up to Shauna and let her know that everything's going to be okay. He just got to explain it to her later. Misty is in shock and distraught. Walter walks up to her and tells her that everything's going to be okay. But Misty tells him that she killed her best friend. I'm feeling bad for Misty. She really didn't want to kill Natalie. She was trying to kill Lisa, but Natalie wanted to be Captain Saver and step in front of the syringe. R.I.P. We got Lottie walking outside looking loony. Why is she looking like that and leaning to the side? What is she looking at? Lock her up. Help her. Why is he holding on to the arm that she was shot in? It doesn't hurt, Lottie. Now who's going to take care of the cult? Is it going to get closed down? I can see Van taking over the cult with her secret loony self. Taissa tells Lottie that she's going to go away for a while, but that they're going to come check on her. Lottie looks up at her and says, "It's pleased with us. We gave it what it wanted." Then she looks at Van and says, "You'll see." And when she said that, we get this reaction from Van with the look of hope and relief on her face. I think Van wanted to play the game because she has cancer, and she's thinking if she was supposed to die, that the wilderness would have taken her right then and there when they played the game. So she just wanted to see something at everyone else's expense though, but it did end up showing her that it wasn't her time to go. She did it so sneaky though, so you have to watch yourself when you're around her. But let me know your thoughts on Van and the whole present day timeline. But who we didn't see is who some of y'all call Cabin Daddy, the guy who used to live in the cabin. But I only know one daddy, and that's Ty Daddy. But I was looking forward on finding out more about him in that cabin. But at the same time, there's a lot more that I was looking forward on finding out and didn't. There was a lot of questions left unanswered. Let me know all the questions that you guys have that wasn't answered in season 2 that you're hoping to get answered in season 3. And I'll tell you mine, but I'll start off with 2. Where is Sammy? Where is Steve? But it's been real. It's been fun. You guys are fun. Thank you for showing me so much love and support. Love y'all. But let me know your thoughts on this episode in the comments so we can talk about it. And if you haven't already and want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.